right, so here we go. I'm going to present. Hopefully everybody can see that nice and big now. Perfect. Awesome. So everyone, welcome to the first webinar of the academic year for Mobile CSP. I see everyone is joining in and handling the audio visual quite nicely as you're signing in. I'll go over that momentarily if you need any help with that. I want to start off very quickly just to launch a quick poll to get some participation going as we allow just a couple moments here for others to join in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to launch a poll and it's going to come up on your screen. Go ahead and feel free to select your answer on that as we allow others to join in. Dee Dee and Ingrid, you can participate too. If you're just joining, you should see a poll up on your screen. Go ahead and respond to that quick poll. Give it about another minute or so. It does look like more people are still joining in, which is awesome. Welcome if you're just joining us right now as those people coming in are joining us and getting settled in. There should be a poll on your screen. Just go ahead and take that poll.
I'm not seeing the poll. Should it be like, I'm still seeing the AP Audit, AP Classroom, AP Resource, the cover slide.
Is it taking up like your whole screen if you close out? It should be a pop-up, I believe.
For me, it popped up like in its own separate
window. Although, Dee Dee, it might be because you were here before me and it didn't register. Remember how I left out? That could be it too.
Should I leave and come back or just not worry about it?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
All right, so it looks like everybody, because Dee Dee, I didn't do it. So it looks like everybody is taking the poll. So we can go ahead and I'm going to end the poll. And what I can do is just share the results. The poll was, when did you complete the mobile CSPD? And the winning year tonight is 2017. Woohoo! Welcome back. Welcome everyone. We're so happy to have you here for the first webinar of the year. We hope that we help answer some questions and give you some new information for tonight. So thank you for participating in the poll. I'm going to go ahead and stop those sharing of those results. All right. So the agenda, I'm not sure if the agenda was sent in the email reminder, but we can put it in the chat momentarily. And there's also slides as well, and those I'm going to show for most of the session. But first, you are hearing the voice and seeing me, hopefully, of Pauline Lake. I am now the Curriculum and PD Coordinator for Mobile CSP at the National Center for Computer Science Education. And I've worked with Mobile CSP since its inception, and I'm super excited to be back for another year and working with a whole new group of teachers. I believe we trained over 100 teachers again this summer, so it was super awesome. We're glad to have everybody back and starting off the year with us. I am very fortunate tonight to be joined by two of our wonderful master teachers who just so happen to be from the same state of Massachusetts. I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves. Dee Dee, you go first. Dee Dee, did you freeze? Did she freeze? Oh no. I think Dee Dee may have frozen. So Ingrid, do you want to go ahead?
Hi, I'm Ingrid Roach. I teach high school in Boston, Massachusetts. I am a master teacher, and this year I have 3 sections of AP CSP doing mobile CSP.
Perfect. And not sure what happened. Oh, she realized and she's going to come out and go back in. And in the meantime, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to share the agenda link. Let's see. As we give Dee Dee a chance to hop back in. All right. Hoping she's able to come back and rejoin us. Not sure what's going on. When she does, we'll have her introduce herself. But thank you, Ingrid, for being here, and to Dee Dee as well when she comes back. So I'd like to do a quick warm-up using Zoom. Many of you, if you have been with us for a year or more, you know that we love to use Zoom and mobile CSP. And some of you know that we actually switched over from using Google Hangouts on air to using Zoom because we thought it was a really awesome tool. So if you haven't used Zoom before, or if you're just getting familiar with it, note that the audio and video controls are in the bottom left-hand corner. You can mute and unmute your mic, and also select whether or not your video is on or not. And we hope to see your face at some point. Feel free to interact with us. The other big feature I wanted to point out was the chat feature, which I did just send a link in the chat for the agenda. The bottom of your screen, if you click on chat, you'll get a box, a pop-up that on the right-hand side of your window will be the chat window. So in the chat, we invite you to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us your name, your school, and what location you are in. So go ahead and do that. Hi, Lisa. Perfect. So it looks like we have some Connecticut, we have Minnesota, Georgia, Massachusetts, right? Virginia, right? Mobile CSP are all over, which is wonderful. If you haven't gone ahead and posted, go ahead and do that so we know that you're here, and so that way I know you have an understanding of how to use the chat. Feel free to use that at any point in time to ask questions, and we'll go back and frequently check that to see what questions you have and try to address them for you. Right. Perfect. Okay, so our first topic for tonight is to talk about the AP audit. When we just did the poll, they only looked like they didn't look like there was anybody who was too recent. Maybe one person was just recently doing the PD and might be a first-time AP CSP teacher. If you are teaching AP CSP for the very first time, the AP audit process is extremely important for you to be recognized as an AP instructor. The process basically entails you making an account on the AP site, which is very important for you to have an account so you can access all the resources and sign in. Then you are asked to do some attestation to say, yes, I'm going to teach the course, I'm going to make sure the students are prepared for the exam, I'm going to make sure that all the learning objectives are covered in the lesson, things like that. You attest to those things. And then you also have to upload a syllabus. And for CSP, it's actually very easy to do the syllabus piece because we are an endorsed provider of AP CSP, and our syllabus is actually already in the College Board system. So when you do the audit process, you can simply adopt our syllabus that is in the system and say, I'm teaching mobile CSP, and you don't need to upload your own syllabus, which is very, very awesome. So I wanted to show you tonight just what the site looks like. Remind you that if you have not done this process before, that you should do this before October 1st, and that deadline's coming up in just a few weeks. And that's the preferred deadline. Even though the College Board does give you until January, you want to do it before this preferred deadline because you want to make sure you have access to all of the resources that are available, including the AP Classroom, which we'll talk about tonight, and the AP Digital Portfolio, which is actually how your students will submit their work to the College Board for review. And I just saw Dee Dee pop back up. Yay. So we're going to pause, and I'm going to go back to Dee Dee and let her introduce herself. Muted. You were muted.
Hi, sorry. I'm Judy Cool. I'm having a little technical difficulties here today. I teach at Westboro High School. I think this is my 4th year teaching AP Computer Science Principles. I've taught every year that the AP test has been given. Was there anything else I was supposed to share? No? Okay.
Awesome to have you back. Thanks, Dee Dee. So the AP audit process, that is just a quick overview of the steps that you need to take. Very important to do that if you're doing it for the first time. I will note before we jump into a demo that if you have done the process before, you still need to go back in and you need to renew your class. And that's a little bit of a quicker process, but you want to make sure you're talking with your AP coordinator and that they have renewed your class for the upcoming year. Also wanted to let you know and make sure you know that once you've done the AP audit process, you also get access to the practice exams that the College Board has released, and those are can be very handy and helpful when you are practicing with your students for the paper and pencil portion of the exam that comes up in May. So I had posted the link to the agenda, which has the link to the slides. And in those slides, you'll notice there are some links in there. There are some step-by-step instructions that are available to you. Those same instructions are also available in Teach 1.12 of the Mobile CSP curriculum. So if you go into the teacher side with the green toolbar 1.12, you can find those step-by-step instructions, or you are very much welcome tonight to log in, create an account, or log into your existing account and kind of follow along on your own computer and try to do the process tonight while we're here, and reach out with questions if you run into trouble. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing over here, and I'm going to share over here. So here we go. So hopefully you can see this okay. Thumbs up, Dee Dee. Oh, thank you, because I see your face up there. So this is the AP Course Audit website, and for anyone who needs the link, it was in the slides, but I can also put that in the chat. Okay. So the site has information about the AP audit process, explains in a little bit more detail than what I did just now of what the AP process is for and its importance. It also has how it works, and it goes through what you need to submit. So these are the items you need to submit, which is what I gave an overview of as well. So you are submitting your attestation form and your syllabus. Those are the two big pieces. And it also has more details about what the site offers for teachers, right? Which is you can also access students' AP exam reports after your course is authorized, and then again you can access secure documents such as practice exams and student responses. Okay, and this process is really a two-part process. One part of the process is you completing the forms that you see on the AP course audit site, and then the second part is your AP coordinator going ahead and approving those on their site. These out of my way. Okay, I'm going to go to sign in up at the top. Here is a couple of places you can do sign in if you have an account. If you don't, you can create an account on the right hand side. Takes just a couple minutes to set one up. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. Let's see if I can remember my password these days. Perfect. So I am not a certified instructor that has been teaching the course or is active at a school, and like Dee Dee or Ingrid, but I can go on. I have the ability to create the account to add a school. So I added a couple of schools that were local here in Hartford, Connecticut, and this happens when you are setting up your account. They'll go through the process of asking you what school do you teach at, what's its zip code. That information is how this is populated. I want to point out that in the right hand corner here, when you're logged in and have your account, it will say academic year. And if you have done the process before, you can go back and see the previous year's courses. But looking here, we want to make sure you're selecting 2019-2020. And then you'll see a list of courses here, a place for courses, and you can go ahead and click the Add Course button. And from the drop-down menu, you're going to be looking to add Computer Science Principles. Click Continue. It will ask you, are you sure you want to add this course at this school? And you can say Add Course. Mine's going to be rejected because they don't have me as a teacher there. But this is what will come up in the courses section now. So you'll see those two pieces that they're going to ask you for. One, again, being the course audit form, the attestations, and then the submit the course document will be your syllabus, where if you're doing mobile CSP, you would click that and you'd go through and adopt the mobile CSP syllabus. It's already in the system. You follow the steps to select mobile CSP as your curriculum. But I'm going to go ahead and let's do the first part, so the course audit form. You click that, tells you a little bit more information. And again, it's attestation. So you say, I attest that I will be teaching the course at Hartford, Connecticut Trinity College Academy, or your school would be listed there, during the 2019-2020 school year. And so you're going to agree. And the process is that you would go through, read each of these statements, make sure you've read over the course and exam description, which you have if you've done the mobile CSP PD. And you go through and you agree to all of those statements. As you read through the curricular requirements, again, you go through and you make sure that you are saying, yes, I agree, and I do these things. Mobile CSP does. We're a nurse provider. For using us, you're going to be doing all of these things, right? You're going to be meeting the learning objectives. You're going to be giving them the required amount of time for the explore and the create tasks that are done in class. And then you're going to go ahead and put your initials at the end and hit submit for administrator approval. So it's a quick online form to make sure you attest to the information that's needed there. I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel again because I don't want to submit that. Once you've done that, this will actually turn into saying this is submitted and waiting for approval. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ingrid and Dee Dee, but I believe it says waiting for approval, and that means it's been shot over to your administrator, and it's waiting for them to verify that you are an instructor at their school and to set up the course for you. Again, once you've done that form, this button will become active and you'll be able to submit your syllabus, which again is just going through the steps to select mobile CSP, as our syllabus is already in the system. Okay. Once you're in here, and that part is taken care of, and there's places like resources here where you can access practice exams. There's also the teacher community, which we'll talk about momentarily, and then how to become an AP reader, which I strongly recommend. I've been a part of that process as a leader each year since the first year. It is really another chance for you to get some
here. I understand what you're saying, huh? I just got done driving.
professional development, a chance for professional development further for you to see how the Explore and Create performance tasks are graded and what that process is like. And it gives you lots of insight that you can bring back to your classrooms and be able to help your students. So I strongly recommend that you become an AP reader. The AP reading for CSP is next year, again in June. Okay. Awesome. So are there any questions about, I'm going to stop sharing. Are there any questions about the audit process? Feel free to put those in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and share the slides again. All right, so if there are no questions about this, then feel free even at a later time if you have questions about the process. Feel free to send us an email at info@mobile-csp.org. Please, if you have not done this before, if you're doing it for the first time, please do it before October 1st so you are not delayed access to any of the resources that you will need for your students. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move on to AP Classroom, and I'm going to hand it over to, I believe, Dee Dee.
All right. Okay, let me see. Oh, it says I cannot share screen while other participant is sharing. Aha. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, just give me a second to go where I need to go. Oh. Okay, can you see my screen? Everybody can see it? Yeah? Okay. All right, let me just sign in. All right. And so this is basically what it looks like. And usually I can go to my dashboard. I'm trying to remember. And if I want to go to AP Classroom, I'm pretty sure that I actually just type in my AP Classroom. Let me just see where that takes me. That's what I did today. There we go. There we go. It's myap.college board. Sorry, had the address wrong. And this is what it looks like. I did do the course audit, so you can see down here, that's the course that I have listed. And then if I want to go to, if I want to look at my AP Classroom, I'm pretty sure I just, actually, I go to AP Classroom and it logs me in. And then this is really helpful. I actually watched these today. There's user guides and interactive tutorials, and I found the interactive tutorials really helpful. Let's see here if I can figure out. So this is the question bank, which I thought was very helpful as well. You can create and I created one to test out today. So basically, let's see if I can see that. I actually assigned it to my class, and then I can see the progress of the students that completed it. And let's see, I have 4 students now that are assigned into my class. So, but to create the test, or to create like a little assessment, I can filter by big ideas. I can filter by assessment purpose and source. I think for me right now, that big ideas were probably the most important way to filter. So if I wanted to filter by creativity, there's no questions. I actually filtered, I think today, by abstraction. I can't remember if that's exactly what I did, but let's say I wanted to do that, then I would just filter by abstraction, and then I would have 13 questions that I could add. When I add them, I just press the add button to whatever questions I want to add, and then I can name it. I can also preview it and see what the students would see before I save it. Let me see if I can hide this for just a second. Yeah, so I can see what the students would see, and then I can close the preview. And if this looked like the quiz I wanted to make, I would save it. And then once I save it, I could go up and I could assign it. And I would assign it. And then this is interesting, and they go through this in the tutorial, but I could assign it to the class. And then for my students to be able to see it, I would have to unlock the assessment. I would also have to unlock the assessment to let students see their results. I could also set a date and time for it to appear. And I could also set a time limit for them to be able to complete it. And then here are some more options that I have, that they could take the assessment offline, or that they could scramble the order. And then, so if I want to unlock it, that means that the students will be able to see it. And then when I go look at the progress, I can see that the students haven't started yet because I just assigned it. All right, so that's the question bank. And then the results. Obviously, I have no results because nothing's happened yet. All right, and then also there is the professional development. I think that's hard to see, but And I thought this was interesting. There's a couple of resources there's like an introduction to the module. There are some examples of a teacher doing a sample lesson and showing, basically showing a sample lesson, which I thought they were great resources. And here's some other different modules. So they have 2 modules there, and they introduce it, and then they also have some explanation. All right, and then also here is, I'm pretty sure that this is who of my students have signed up, and I'll go through that in just a second, how they do that. I'll show you what I did with mine. And then let's go back to and here's my join code. This is important. This is the code that I gave my students, and I'll show you what I did in classroom to show you how I enrolled all of my students. And as you can see, not all of them have done it yet. But that's the join code. So quickly, I'll show you what I did in classroom so that I could convey the information to my students about how to join. Let's see here. Here we are. So I did this. I just created a message and said enroll with College Board using the code. And the website they go to is also myap.collegeboard.org, and they log in with their credentials. And then it's pretty easy. They'll have just something that pops up and says, do you have a code? Almost like Google Classroom. It's literally that easy. The other thing that I was surprised about, which in a good way I was surprised about, was that, let's see here. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry. Hold on just a second. If I go to my dashboard, if it'll let me do that, the students that sign up using that code are automatically enrolled in your portfolio. And I got to my portfolio from my dashboard, but I can see that the students that have signed up are automatically enrolled in my dashboard. Again, you don't have to worry a lot about your portfolio right now, but just know that it's only a one step, so you don't have to worry about that. All right. Let's see. Questions? Is there anything that I've not shown, or any questions that anybody has?
So I want to make one quick note, and then we do have a question from Carl.
Okay.
For the AP question bank, those questions for teachers, just to be aware that you cannot assign those tests you give as grades, right? They're not. The College Board does not want you to give students grades based on those, or to make any try to make any connection between how well they do on those and how well they might do on the final AP exam. Okay, so make sure that you are not giving scores for those. Carl has asked, do students get notified when something is assigned?
That is a good question, and my students, I'm sure that they do, but I don't know. So I don't know if you have to tell them. I mean, again, I just assigned something for the first time tonight just to see what it was like. So I don't really know the answer to that, but I would just tell them, and I would tell them verbally if I was going to assign anything anyway, but I don't know if they get notified or not. Does anyone know? I'm sorry, I didn't even think about that.
Okay, I think if I gave a quiz today, and the students, once they sign into myap.collegeboard, they can see if they have, they can see all the assessments that are out there. So some are assigned and some are still locked. So all they have to do is log into the account, and if anything is out there, then they can see it.
But I guess what the question was is if they get an email notification or something that has been assigned, like in Google Classroom?
No, I don't think they do. I don't think they do. I think they just have to log in. I'm like you, I use Google Classroom, so I just told them to log in.
Okay, I don't know. I don't think it's like Google Classroom. I think you'd have to tell them, but I don't know.
Jen has asked, what if it's only a completion grade? And I believe that's in reference to the scoring of the tests as you assign them. So and if someone else has heard something, let me know. I have not heard them say no, flat out no to a completion grade, like yes, you did it or no, you didn't, because you could call it a review, did they do the review? And you say yes or no. What I've heard a flat out no to is giving them a score like an 80 out of 100 is what their score was on that test, because they don't want any correlation or them thinking if there's any correlation between how they do on that versus how they would do on the AP exam. So I hope that helps, Jen. I mean, it's also like with the performance tasks, right? They say you cannot give a student scores on the official performance task before they hand them in. Can you give them a completion grade for doing parts? Yes, right? And I have heard the College Board say, yes, that's okay. If you're saying, okay, did they submit the artifacts versus the prompts on the Explore to you? That's a completion grade, right? If they did that, yes or no, you're not giving them feedback. You're just saying yes, they did it or not. If there are other questions, please let us know. What I'm wondering is if Ingrid, would you mind showing your screen to maybe show some of the student sides of things? I know, like with the join code, I know Dee Dee mentioned it, but really like setting up your class and how you set up your section and how you would get the students to put that join code in.
Sure. I also, while I didn't necessarily plan to come to the webinar before you asked me, but I'm so happy that I'm here because I probably wouldn't have known about my AP classroom, and maybe we should be spreading the word more, or maybe I've been missing it because I've just been like in the beginning of the year type stuff. But I'm gonna share my screen. Seems pretty easy.
While you're doing that, we do have a question from Anne. So Anne said, I'm just teaching mobile CSP for the first time this year. Do I need to set up students on the College Board site as well as the mobile CSP site? The answer is yes. So you want students on the mobile CSP course site so they can practice, go through the lessons and do the self-checks and access the curriculum there. But as you're seeing here tonight on this webinar, you want to make sure that they are set up on the College Board site, because if you're teaching the class as AP, right, and if it's AP, they need to submit their performance tasks through the digital portfolio. And as you're seeing tonight, that's from that's the site also lets you do these practice questions and tests. Uh-oh, I see Lisa yelling at me. What's up, Lisa?
I just wanted to comment, because when we set this up with my students, based on Ann's statement, when they sign up for College Board, it's really important that the students use an email account that they register that is not their school email account, because when they graduate, their school email account probably will terminate. And they're probably going to need access to much of this information from College Board post graduating from high school. I know for my own child, we were in that situation, and had she used her school email account, we wouldn't have been able to get to information. It would have been challenging. So I have my students use a personal email for their College Board and our school site for mobile CSP. That's all.
Thanks, Lisa.
I want to add one little thing too. When they sign up for College Board for the AP Classroom, they're also going to declare their intent to take the test, and their test will be ordered. And if they don't do it by a certain deadline, then they're signing up late and paying an extra $40. At least that's what it is at my school, to sign up late. Just that's how they declare their intent to take the exam.
So, Pauline, did you want me to demonstrate something?
Yeah, so how would you set up a class in the AP classroom? You're going to share your screen.
Yes, I am going to try to share my screen. I was trying to do these different sharing. I don't know, it was kind of coming out weird. So when I just pick screen and click share.
So, yep. There you
And
go.
everybody can see it?
Yep.
All right, looks like I'm going to have to log back in again. I also, while people were talking, I was thinking if you are doing this for the first time, I think that the portfolio can be a little bit overwhelming. We saw Dee Dee's for a second, and when I can figure out how to get back there because I got logged out, I can also show you mine. But you have these like 5 check marks going across, and sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming to watch the kids submit their work and then kind of double check that they have submitted it. And then there's the rules around what we're allowed to do and give the feedback for. So on this page, I think you guys can see my sections, right? Yeah. So like I said, I have 3 sections, and these are their 3 different join codes. Similar to what people were talking about, like I use a class page and I have a Google Doc that students refer to every day, and I'm just going to put those codes. In fact, I did it tonight because I usually wait a lot longer, because before it was only the digital portfolio that was significant. So usually I kind of waited until maybe after the January type of time frame. But when you look at this part, and I don't know, since I don't have any students, I don't know if it'll actually show so once you have all of your students in, it gives you these responses in terms of the digital portfolio, and shows you like if the kid has submitted a draft and if it's complete. The first year that I did this, I found this just to be challenging. I also have a lot of students. Like this year, I have 90 students. So it's just kind of like a lot of checking and rechecking. But tonight's really the first time that I've had an opportunity to explore my AP classroom, but I'm really excited about it. It looks really cool. So I don't know what else, Pauline, you wanted me to show. But I can't get back now to get to the part where where the
So
classroom part is.
I think when you click on the yellow like profile, my dashboard, and then you can go to the various ones from there. Although I don't see classroom listed, that is strange.
I often, like for me personally, I feel like the AP site is always like this because I'm not on it all the time. I only go on it really to do the digital portfolio and those kinds of things.
The other one to show is, and I just saw it there. Bring me back to it.
Oh, here it is.
Okay, as the AP teacher community, I see that as well. Before you click that, I just want to make sure to add a section, all you did is add class section, and you filled in information about like what the name is, and what class it's for.
Yeah, that was easy. That probably took me 5 minutes.
Okay. And then it automatically generates a join code for you that you distribute to your students, like you and Dee Dee did through Google Classroom. You give the students that code when they sign up. So you want to have them during class time, or it would be ideal to have them sit down, create the College Board account using another email address like Lisa mentioned, and give them this code. They would enter this code and it would automatically connect them to your classroom on the AP site, and also set them up in the digital portfolio. Okay.
Exactly. I would also add that especially because if we're doing this early on, so in my experience, I'm always doing the AP things like a few months before the other teachers because they're only giving an exam and we have the portfolio. So some of the kids have lost their password or, you know, who knows. And sometimes to get their password reset, they either have to wait or sometimes they've even had to actually call the college board number, which you can't do during, in my school anyway, we can't do that during class. So I also try to give it over like, you know, 3 days or something so that we're all enrolling in class at the same time. 85% of them get in, no problem. I even kind of check it while they're doing it and say like, Pauline, you're in, you know, and then there's usually like 5 or 6 kids who have some kind of issue. And then that way it's a lot easier to just follow up with them, you know, after the fact so they don't get stressed out, like feeling like they have to be signed in right then and there. But that part for me has been really easy. The portfolio and the checking is a bit more work, but the enrolling the kids has been no problem. And I'm excited about this AP classroom and the things that are available for teachers to be able to give to kids. I know within mobile CSP we have very similar problems because as I was scrolling through those problems, I saw that a lot of them we use, but I think it's nice for them to see them like in the context of the College Board site.
Yeah, we definitely took some of the AP prep questions. Those are coming directly from the course and exam description. So those are the College Boards, and we put them to our site. But yes, I agree that it's nice for them to see, you know, in that format. One question I had for Ingrid or Dee Dee is the question bank and the tests that they take, those are obviously being done electronically, but the exam itself at the end is paper and pencil. Does the College Board give the option to teachers after they create the assessment to give them via paper and pencil?
I didn't see that. I'll go check right now, but I'm wondering if one of the reasons they want us to do this is so they can collect data. And if they did the paper and pencil, they wouldn't be able to get the data. So I'm going to say they probably don't allow us, but I don't know. So I'm going to go look and check now. Ingrid?
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I didn't, I didn't even know about this. So, I don't know, but that is it's an interesting point, I guess, that Dee Dee raises, because that means that as our kids are practicing these problems, the College Board's getting the opportunity to see how they're interacting with those questions.
Yeah, and I'm going to guess they don't have it available only because they're very strict about the practice exams as well, and those making sure that only verified AP teachers are getting access to those. And they say that they don't want you to distribute those, and if you do print them, you have to take them back. So I'm going to lean towards they probably don't have that feature set up, but it does make you wonder, that they are practicing, even with mobile CSP, they're practicing answering the questions online, but then they, at the end of the year, have to do it on paper, and, what is that difference? Are they being prepared for that change? I do see some questions popping up here, or is it just comments?
I'm pretty sure the answer is no. I'm pretty sure it's no. I couldn't find any way to look for a way to print that.
Yeah. Carl is saying, was the deadline to register for AP moved up? Yes. So there was some research released by the College Board saying that students who committed early did better instead of waiting to the end in April to say, okay, I'm going to take the test. That committing early on in the year allowed them to commit to their studying and learning the material, and that they were doing better on the exam. So based on that research, the College Board did move up the deadline to register for exams. So I believe it's November 1st now. As Ingrid was showing her screen a moment ago, it does give you the notification that the exams need to be ordered by November 15th by the AP coordinator. So what happens in the AP digital portfolio that Ingrid and Dee Dee showed, where students upload their performance tasks, they also go in there and they say whether or not they're going to intend to take the exam. That gets pushed back to your AP coordinator who orders the exams. And again, that deadline was posted on the site as November 15th. When the packets arrive, your students are giving an AP code or student number, and they enter that number to link their performance tasks and their exam grades together. So yes, that deadline has moved up. So that's why it's also really important for those who have not done the AP process yet to do that before October. That gives you time to get your classroom set up, get your students set up on AP Classroom, and to make sure that they understand the commitment and what they would be committing to, so they have time to register before November. Jen?
Pauline,
Mhm.
Pauline, do you think that all the AP coordinators would be aware of this, or do you think it's our responsibility to tell them that?
I think that the College Board has pushed out information, and that I know that they have sent emails. So I think that it's going to depend on, is it a new coordinator or an existing coordinator? Existing coordinators who've done this, I would say that they have received an email, or they will receive an email notifying them. If it's someone that you know is new and they haven't, maybe AP is being done for the first time at your school this year, then I would contact them and make sure they know. And sometimes, even if you're doing the audit process for the very first time at your school, and Ingrid, reminder that you're sharing as well, that if you reach out to whoever is supposed to be the AP coordinator, you can kind of kickstart that process, because sometimes you as a teacher know more than what the coordinator does if it's new at your school. I don't think
Yeah, I was about to write
hurts.
an email right now.
Yeah, I don't think it hurts one way or another to send them a message. Even if you're about to do the AP process, to send them a message too and say, hey, I'm about to do this. Do we need to schedule a meeting to talk, or start that conversation with them. We definitely want to just keep an eye on that. Make sure that they are communicating with you, and they're letting you know that they know about the process and how it's changed. Perfect. Lisa answered that question. Okay. Are there any other questions? We do have some time for some Q&A. The only other thing that I think would be great to show them, and maybe Ingrid, since you're already sharing, is the teacher community. I did put that up in the slides as well, but you were just there on the site. Another thing we really would like you to do is to join the AP teacher community. Many of you are already available, a part of the Mobile CSP teaching forum, or teaching Mobile CSP, and you're getting those emails and communications. But there's also the AP teacher community for CSP. And the link is in the slides, and as well as when you're on your home page, it's listed there. So should be linked in there, Ingrid. Yeah, there it is. Lisa says you can print the assessments. Whoa. She found the magic button. All right, so Ingrid, you're part of CSA. There is a CSP specific community that you can go ahead and register for. And you can choose how many emails you get. I sign up for the digest. The College Board representatives are a part of this forum. They often jump in and answer questions as well. So basically, this is recommended for you if you have AP specific questions. If you have specific curriculum questions where you're using Mobile CSP for the AP CSP course, if you have specific Mobile CSP questions to use the Teaching Mobile CSP forum, you can also send questions about the classroom and things like that to the Mobile CSP forum. But those types of questions, if they're about AP related resources, are most likely best answered or better to be answered and posted and answered on the community that is hosted by AP. They have a moderator that is with them each year. Again, the College Board representatives are a part of that community. There's additional resources shared from all of the different curricula that are represented for CSP, not just mobile CSP. So it's a much wider community. Okay. Perfect. Great. Are there any other questions about the audit, the classroom resources? I mean, we even got into digital portfolio, which I wasn't expecting, but that was awesome. I'll give you just a moment here. If you have questions, feel free to unmute or type in the chat, whichever is easiest for you. So I'm seeing, I don't know, Ingrid, if you're still there, but Dee Dee, you had pulled up the question bank as well. Is there an option to assign offline?
Yes.
So it looks like it's possible that when you do that, it creates a PDF.
Okay. So let's see here. So open assessment.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, oh, sorry. Yes. Sorry. I thought I had pressed that. But,
It's okay.
okay. Oh, somebody else is sharing?
So I think Ingrid has to stop. There we go. Thanks, Ingrid.
Okay, there you go. All right. So, okay. Just let me go there. Sorry. Sorry, I have so many windows open. All right, I need to be in this window. There we go. All right, so let me go to this one because I didn't assign this one yet. All right. Oh, sorry. Hold on. It's just hard because let me hide this. Hold on. All right, so now if I assign this, if I do the assign offline, that's how it gives me the, so I take assessment offline and then
Looks like view popped up at the top.
right here. I don't know.
It took you back to progress.
Let's go back to assign. Okay, so I went to assign the test, right? And take the test offline. Unlock the assessment now. All right, so hold on. Unlock the assessment now. Okay. I don't know. What do you think? And then view?
What if you click the little I next to take assessment offline?
This little I? Info?
Create a PDF.
Okay. So that I've got that. So now, what do I need to do? What am I not doing?
Do you have to assign to a class?
Oh, well, I thought I was in the class, right? So assign. Class is not assigned, clear. So, is this the one I did before though? Maybe because let's do test 2. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. I did that. Let's go here and just do this and try this one. And now let's do this one. Does that look right?
Well, that's interesting.
I don't know.
Has anybody been able to successfully assign without doing the PDF?
I was able to do it just now because I knew I'd seen something today, and Dee Dee, I wasn't looking because I was over there trying to figure it out. When I went back and I did the offline, I had to click. I have two sections. I had to click on one of my two sections to get the save button to come up. But now that I have this 2-question assessment that I didn't want, just it was a test, I can't figure out how to throw it away. So I've got that side going now.
So I can start another. Let me just start another one and see. Let's see. Let's add a few questions here, and I'll name this one. Test 3, and I'll save the quiz. And I'll go to assign. And now it's got, I clicked on that, right? Oh, I've clicked on that now. And I'll say take the assessment offline, right? Oh, I gotta go back and unlock it.
It was because you had already assigned the others.
I don't know, because one of them I hadn't assigned. So let's go back. Oh, I keep doing that and getting the preview. Don't do what I'm doing. So it's not clear. Yeah, that's weird too, isn't it? Because I'm having a hard time. Like once I've got an assessment, right? I'm having a hard time picking the class. Right? It says class is not assigned.
But you did though, right? Because it says period 6 there. So when you created it, you assigned it to period 6.
Oh, I did. So it is assigned.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you created it, you at the top it says period 6. You already assigned it to this class.
Okay. Well, let's go create one more. Let's try this, because what I found is like if I add, it's in the progress.
Yeah. Can you scroll up a little bit? Click on progress. I think I clicked.
I'm sorry. Yep.
View test booklet. I just saw it. View test booklet.
Okay. There it is. There it is.
Now that one was available because when you first created it, you assigned it to period 6, and you selected to allow them to take it offline.
Okay.
But it doesn't look like when you went to one that was already assigned previously that you can change it to be assigned offline after it's already assigned online. So you have to do it when you first set it up. But that
it looks like it.
Yeah.
You have to make the decision right away. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay.
They do come out really nice though.
Yeah. That was crazy though. I found that it's not intuitive, much of the many things related to the College Board site. Do you want us to show where the practice exams are?
I did, right at the top.
Oh, you already did. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm lost.
When I did the audit,
Oh,
maybe you were kicked. Were you there?
I bet I was kicked off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Awesome. So we are at 8 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and say thank you to everyone for joining and stop the recording. But I'm here and can hang out for a few more minutes if you have questions. Otherwise, feel free to email us at info@mobile-csp.org. Join the AP teacher community for CSP. And if you've taken the PD, you have a master teacher that you can reach out to. Please reach out to them with your questions. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.